Welcome back to Ringside Ramble. It's me, Niall, here back bringing you all the latest news, views, and breakdowns from around the world of professional boxing. In this video, I'll be giving my quick preview and prediction for the very intriguing lightweight clash this coming Wednesday night as former hot prospect Chris Colbert, primetime Chris Colbert, looks to get his career back on track after a devastating KO defeat last time out as he faces the unheralded but dangerous Mexican Omar Salcido on Pro Box TV at the Pro Box Event Center in Plant City, Florida on Wednesday night. Of course, this was supposed to happen last week, but it was pushed back a week due to the hurricanes in Florida. So we're getting it this Wednesday night instead. And yeah, as I said, this one is very intriguing, this fight. It's going under the radar, but there's a lot at stake here for Chris Colbert. I'm fascinated to see how this one goes. And to be honest with you, I'll give my prediction at the end of this video. But I think this is a potential disaster for Chris Colbert. I really do. This fight, it's a very, very tough opponent to come back against after a devastating KO defeat. Of course, Chris Colbert came on the scene with a lot of hype, a lot of heat behind him, and he was expected to go to the very top of the 130-pound division. To be honest, the talent clear to see, clear as day. Very talented fighter who looked outstanding at super featherweight. Defensively excellent, slick, quick, great reactions, great combinations. Yeah, and just a really quality operator at 130 pounds. And myself and along with plenty of other people expecting him to reach the top of that division and probably other divisions as well. But he moved. Sorry, I should say before he moved up, he faced Hector Luis Garcia as a short notice replacement for one of his fights, and he got beaten. He got beaten by Hector Luis Garcia in what was an upset of the year, to be honest with you, in 2022. And yeah, it was a big shock result. Hector Luis Garcia dropping him on the way. Of course, Garcia proved himself to be no kind of slouch at all. Went on to win a world title at 130 pounds, so a quality operator in his own right, no shame in that. And Chris Colbert was left to kind of rebound, and he moved to lightweight where he faced off against Jose Valenzuela, Rayo Valenzuela. A very disputed decision win for Chris Colbert. A lot of people thought Valenzuela done enough to win that fight. I do myself as well. I think Valenzuela just kind of edged it, to be honest with you, but they did rematch. They rematched straight after that, and Valenzuela left it. Didn't leave it to the judges this time. It was a heavy, brutal knockout he delivered to Chris Colbert. He hurt him early in the fight, first round, had him rocked. Not to mention he dropped him in their first fight, hurt him badly in the first round of the rematch, and ended up dispatching him. A brutal knockout, highlight reel KO, and it's left Chris Colbert in a really interesting kind of position. After two defeats now, one of them being devastating, and he really needs a win to kind of, get that hype back behind him. He needs not only a win but a good performance if he's to be spoken about in kind of the upper echelons of either the 135-pound division, or if he moves back down to 130, and he needs to look good against Omar Salcido. But I don't I think Omar Salcido is going to beat Chris Colbert here. I really do. I think it's such a crazy fight, dangerous fight to come back to. Of course, Chris Colbert said, he didn't want any kind of journeyman fighters. He wanted a tough opponent, to get him motivated, to get him off the couch for a comeback. But when you're coming back after such a big KO defeat, I don't think Omar Salcido is going to give you a very good welcome back. I think he's a very capable fighter. The Mexican, bullishly strong, big, solid fundamentals, and can punch. He really can whack. So I think Chris Colbert has a lot of questions to answer about how, in my opinion, he's not a lightweight. And I think it's brought him a lot of problems. I don't think he can handle the strength at lightweight. It was proved against Jose Valenzuela on two occasions. when he got dropped in the first and badly hurt and stopped in the second one. I think he's a natural super featherweight. I really do. But I think either at super featherweight or lightweight, I think he has chin issues. I really do think the chin has been cracked on numerous occasions now, and I think his chin is a big weak area. Uh, you know, there's no shame in losing to the fighters that he did. As I mentioned, Hector Luis Garcia went on to win a world title, and of course, as I forgot to mention, as we all know, so did Jose Rayo Valenzuela. We seen what he done last time out against Isaac Cruz, and that was up at 140. He went on to win the world title there. He's a current champion there, so no shame in losing to people who went on to fight for world titles, but flaws have been exposed in Chris Colbert. The physicality aspect that at 135 he's not strong enough to be a lightweight. He's best suited to 130 pounds, and he has chin issues. And the chin was cracked big time last time out. And to come back against a big punch and bullishly strong Mexican in the first fight back, I think it's a recipe for disaster for Chris Colbert there. I really do. So I think, Omar Salcido, very good, very capable, strong fighter. I think, I think he knocks Chris Colbert out here, and it's an absolute disaster for Colbert. It'll be another big KO loss. I just can't get it out of my head the image of him being knocked out again this coming Wednesday night in Florida. I really can't, and it'd leave his career in ruins. To be quite honest with you, it really would. He spoke in the build up to this about he wants to move back down to 130, which kind of solidifies the fact that even he doesn't think he's a natural lightweight, and he's coming. He's coming in against a big punch and strong lightweight. And I don't like the fact that as well he's saying that he wants to move back down to 130. It just puts too many doubts in my mind, and he seems to be slightly overlooking Omar Salcido, which is even more dangerous. Yeah, some of the quotes he's come out with in interviews in the build up to this one, there's questions: is his heart still in it after two defeats? Is he kind of did he believe his own hype too much, and the kind of the two defeats have killed his love for the game? Who knows? That's also very dangerous. He's such a talented fighter that if he does kind of get through Salcido, or even if he loses to Salcido and moves back down, there's a lot of fascinating fights for him at super featherweight. There's the likes of Navarrete, Conceição, Albert Bell, Lamont Roach, Oscar Valdez, Anthony Gacacci. There's so many good names that if he was at his best, he'd likely beat a lot, if not all of these fighters at 130. So, there's fascinating options there if he wins and goes back down. But, what if he gets knocked out again, which I think he will, two brutal knockouts in a row, or two knockouts in a row, and moves back down? There's questions, will the chin ever be the same again? Like there's the questions to answer on this one. Will the chin be the same after the Valenzuela knockout? We've seen it, one bad knockout to fighters, and their chin is just shattered from that point on. So his chin, if he gets knocked out again, will be totally gone. How easily could he move back down and make the weight at 130? That will diminish him also. So there's a lot of questions, and his stock will be on the floor. Who would want to fight Chris Colbert, who doesn't hold a title, doesn't hold a world title, coming off two bad knockout losses, and kind of, you know, he'd be seen as not worth fighting, high risk, low reward. Nobody would really go near him. Nobody would have any reason to go near him at 130 if he was to get through this, or if he was to get knocked out. Um, I just think, yeah, this is huge for Chris Colbert. This is the biggest fight of his career, where we're gonna find out the answer to a lot of these questions. Is his heart still in it? Um, can the chin hold up under the firepower of Salcido? The aggression and the heavy hands of Salcido. We're gonna find out, and I don't think it will. I think Omar Salcido knocks out Chris Colbert in the mid rounds here and leaves his career in ruins, leaves him with nowhere to go. To be honest with you, he will move back down, but it's not gonna kind of bear any sort of success for him. I think if he loses this on Wednesday night, his career is as good as over. And I think this bruising, aggressive Mexican, is just all wrong for Chris Colbert at this stage of his career, coming off two a big knockout loss, an underwhelming performance in the first Valenzuela fight, and a huge knockout loss to come straight off this into facing Salcido. I think it's a recipe for disaster. I really do. So, yeah, that's my prediction for this coming Wednesday night. Huge, high stakes contest between Chris Colbert and Omar Salcido on Pro Box TV at the Pro Box Event Center in Plant City, Florida. Let us know what you think in the comments. Am I being disrespectful to Chris Colbert? Will he put on a masterclass against Salcido and prove that he still has what it takes to mix it with the top dogs, whether that be at 135 or 130? Um, who takes it, Colbert or Salcido? Let us know, and let us know how far you could think Chris Colbert could go if he revives his career on Wednesday. Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments below. And as I say, as always, please, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give this video a like down below. I'm still passionate about building this channel from the ground up, and any support at all would be greatly appreciated. And I'd love to hear from you what you think about this fight or other fights I cover on the channel. So yeah, like the video, give us a subscribe, follow us over on X as well. Always great chat over there about boxing, whether it be this fight or our big fights coming up. So yeah, follow us over there as well. And yeah, it's been a pleasure. And until next time, take care and speak again.